Welcome to the Compass Show, and I'm just super excited. We were just talking that we were dressed the wrong way for this shoot. We really should have had sunglasses on because we're feeling the warmth of summer even though it's snowing out today. So just put that thought in your mind that the warmth of summer will soon be here. And I know that very soon they're going to be talking that it's too hot outside. So with that thought in mind, we're really excited to be here. I have, of course, you all know Heather Radke, our program specialist. And today we're going to talk about, we've been talking with the board and we've been talking with the seniors at the center. And we have a vision for the center and just kind of moving that forward and kind of what that looks like and some of the things you will notice. And probably the first place is in the newsletter, right, Heather?
That's right. Yeah, you'll definitely notice it in the newsletter. It's the front page, you know, right underneath our picture of the center. Yep. We changed the look of that a little bit. So you'll notice that there's a big living life underneath the header,
yep.
Right?
Yep. And that's really cool because we really believe that from what I have seen in my time there and the short time that Heather's been with us, we have seen that you guys are not just getting a year older. You are truly living life. And so we just want to make sure that as we go forward, we're helping you to live that life, and especially to the fullest that you can, if we can catch you. So within that, we're going to discuss the different areas we have underneath that living life so that you can kind of get a grasp as to kind of what's happening at the center. And we don't really want to say it's a new look. It's just an enhanced look that really is capturing where we're at as we have members that are 53 all the way up to 102 and really trying to capture the programming around that. So with that, we're going to start with living life through, and you'll see us say that quite often and in the newsletter.
Yep.
And so the first one is special events.
Woo!
Yeah.
Special events.
Yeah.
You know, special events really covers a lot of different areas. When we look at special events, it can be outings, it can be special meals that we have at the center. When I think of special events, the sky's the limit. You know, There's no boundaries. We can take that wherever we want to take it.
Almost any place you want to take it.
I have to get it approved through Barb. But
we have to have a little cap on that. Yeah. Pretty much any place. And I guess some of the most recent one we did was the Minnesota Day.
Yes.
And that was just a ton of fun with the trivia.
Yeah, and I didn't get to be a part of that, but I helped with the planning of that, and I heard it was a blast that day.
And I think the favorite trivia question that day, and maybe we'll put it out there, but we won't give them the answers. They'll have to come see us.
Yeah.
What are the 5 states that border Minnesota? You guys think about that one. I know you can get the first 4. It's the 5th one. So you think about that. I know those who attend it definitely know the answers. So if you get the answer, let us know. And then I think our next one that's coming up that I'm thinking of underneath that category is the Friendship Day.
Right. So we're really playing off of the leap year this year. You know, that comes how many years?
Once every 4 years.
Once every 4 years. So we're really tapping into, let's just leap into friendship. Let's invite our friends down to the center. Let's have fun throughout the day. We'll start with the friendship meal.
Yep.
And
frog legs.
Frog legs.
Frog eye salad. Let me see, lily pads. Fly potatoes and toadstools.
Sounds delicious.
It does. If you've never had frog legs, you should try them out. No, really, we're not serving frog legs.
Right.
But come check it out, right?
Come check it out, yeah.
Yeah, and we're really excited about that. It's just a fun time to take that 29th and just have a lot of fun. And for as long as we've been on trivia, you know, you guys know that the 29th comes every time that there's a presidential election.
I didn't know that.
So, think about that. So that's a little interesting tidbit. Connecting and learning. Living life through connecting and learning.
So we had the pleasure of teaming up with SMSU.
Yep.
And we've offered 2 sessions so far of the Mini Gold College, which is a 3-week program, but we had to postpone because of the weather, and our last session will be this Thursday.
Correct.
We have just, you know, loved having that program down at the center.
Wonderful.
Wonderful turnout from seniors within our community and also outside of the community, and it's just really bridging the gap between the college and the center, and I love that, being able to bridge gaps between different companies and organizations and bring a whole nother group of seniors into the center so that they can really see what we're doing down there.
Right. And I think it also has helped them to feel comfortable with the Gold College. Absolutely. And be able to venture out and say, hey, maybe there's another class I'd be interested in. So it's just building that bridge for them so that they can just walk on over.
Right. And the best thing is they don't have tests, you know, so you just come in and you learn. And I really think that you should never stop learning, you know. So that's important to look at programming that causes us to keep learning or pushes us.
That would have been the perfect way to have gone to college with no tests.
Yes.
Just learn and no tests.
Totally, yes.
That would have been really, really fun. Our next category is arts and crafts. And we're really excited.
So we started a new program last month, which was called Coloring Outside of the Lines.
Yep.
This is a program that I kind of presented to Barb, and we both kind of were scratching our heads thinking, well, I'm not really sure about this, but basically what it is it's adult coloring. So they come down, they color, they have a glass of coffee or a mug of coffee, they visit, they socialize, they distress. This is something that's become really popular not only in our area, but all over the place. People are talking about this. And it's just an added benefit that there are health benefits to coloring. So
and I know we've talked a long time about that. Really, you got to color to de-stress? I don't know.
I'm not quite sure on it, but you know, the seniors that came to the first session, they loved it. And I even roped a few in that didn't really want to color at first. They came back into my office the next day and asked for more coloring sheets. So, you know.
So it's a good thing.
That's a good thing. We're going to keep offering that on a monthly basis.
Typically before, when they have an evening meal, we'll have color by the lines. So that'll be just really fun. And, you know, it's kind of interesting. I know lots of times they say that as you age, you also go back to being like a child. And we've also had this discussion on coloring. It's like, oh, I just colored with my granddaughter. So maybe there is some truth in that it just lets you kind of be a kid again, and it just lifts those burdens or those worries. So that's a lot of fun. And then we also have
the revamped art studio that's going to be coming next week, Tuesday, right? And they're going to be offering canvas painting. Do you want to? You explain it really well.
Oh, I love this. I haven't been through this program, but I have painted in my lifetime. This is a program, and I've seen several people attend them. I've witnessed them a couple of times. The lady coming in will bring in the canvases, the paint brushes, and believe it or not, when you leave, you will have a 16 by 20 canvas painted, even if you've never lifted a paintbrush before. It is just really, really awesome. And I keep thinking, what a treasure. I mean, for your family, you can bring it home and let your grandkids know, look what I painted. Isn't this awesome? And this month we're doing
we're going to be painting a bridge scene. And so I think you can alter that. It could be a winter bridge scene or a summer scene or spring or even fall, whatever you choose to paint. I have a little experience with it from when I worked in the nursing home, where I would work with Alzheimer's residents that literally could not pick up a spoon to feed themselves, and then I'd bring teachers in to teach how to canvas paint step by step, and they would have beautiful paintings that we'd give to their family members. So if they can do it, so can you.
Yeah, definitely. And believe it or not, it's only 2 hours. So it's perfect. You can come down, paint a canvas, have lunch, and participate in the activities in the afternoon. So we kind of got it all covered. Leisure and entertainment.
This is something that is kind of up and coming. We just started to have some real discussions over this at the center, not only between me and Barb, but also with our board and some of the participants in the Senior Gold College. And what we're finding is that a lot of seniors are looking for the smaller groups or the one-on-one connections, and I think we're going to tap that a little bit when we look at leisure and entertainment. So some examples of things that we have come up with is going to the Marshall 6 and catching the latest movie, coming to SMSU theater productions, going out to the high school to some of the theater things, and probably even capturing some of the sporting events together in a small group setting.
Yeah. And I think it's always nice when you might have an interest in it, but you're just not, I don't know if I want to venture out there on my own. So what we're thinking is when we find out people's interest, we're going to gather them at the center, and then we'll all go as a group out there and then come back to the center. So you have that point of contact in gathering as a group, and then we're going to go forward from there. So we're excited where this is going to expand to. And the other part of that really excites us is that we get to go out and be in the community, and we get to be whoever we want to be. That's kind of our claim. It's like when you reach this age, I find that they're so truly who they are, and that's what I love about working with this generation.
Yeah.
And so it'll be fun to just take that out, and they can then also, as we make these endeavors and excursions, they can really see what's happening out in the community.
Yes.
So it's like bringing us out,
right?
But yet it's bringing the community into them. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really, it's looking at our programming outside of the four walls. It's taking us out into the community.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah,
so.
That's good. Fitness and recreation. Woo. Yeah.
So we offer Flex and Stretch Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is about a 40-minute exercise program.
Yep.
We work on a variety of different things.
Right. Actually, the program, it involves flexibility. It involves aerobics, but it's not aerobics as in going really fast. It's aerobics in doing repetition of exercises, which helps get your heart going. Not super fast, don't worry about it. And then we also use weights, so it's really a well-rounded program, and it's just fun. And the cool thing is we always add in another piece to that. I like to call it laughter yoga, but it's not really laughter yoga. We're always laughing in the class.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a big draw to the class, is just the social aspect of socializing while exercising.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to exercise in a group, I think, than being motivated to exercise myself. I know that this group itself has pushed me to be more physically fit, because I have to lead the program one day a week. Yeah. But yeah, it's just fun. It's a blast to come down and laugh, and you never know what the day is going to bring. No, the topics, oh man, they can jump from, I don't know, it's really hard to recall some of them, but we jump from do penguins have knees to the latest endeavor of how to walk in the parking lot so you don't fall. So put those two together and you'll get the answer. Right. And then we've got by promoting and having a quality of life. And I really think when we look at that, it's been so interesting in my time span there that at the center, people have lived in Marshall, their entire community, but by coming down, all of a sudden they make this new connection. Right. And I think that's part of that quality of life, is giving them that new connection, that what I want to call a new friend. Yes. And so I think that just amazes me that people go, I didn't know anybody else was really interested in this, or I never knew this person and I lived here all my life. Right. So I think that's just really a cool part of being down there too. And then we have health and wellness. Yeah. And so we've got a lot of things going on around that. We've got blood pressure. We got foot clinic, yep, and we also have health insurance counseling. So, yeah, that health insurance counseling is a big one, especially heading into the new year. Yeah, I know Donna does a great job. She's kind of considered a guru in the state, right? Like, if you have any questions about health insurance, Donna knows the answer. Yeah, and my favorite story with that, I always got to break away to the story, is one time Donna had a situation and she was pretty sure with what she had down, but she wanted to double check it, so she called above her to check it out, quite a ways above her up to the state, and they were not really sure, and they said, I got the person for you to call. They said, call Donna Kurth. And she said, I am Donna. And so that we've got someone really good in place here in Marshall, and it's an invaluable asset that we have. So if you do have questions, bring them in, get them checked out. It's better to ask than to not ask. Yeah. So that's really cool.
Day trips and travel.
Woo! Yeah, this is something that we're really working on getting going on a monthly basis. So this next month we have an outing to the Walnut Grove Mercantile. We're going to do some fudge sampling, check out their honey. You know, the Walnut Grove Mercantile is just this small little building that you know, a lot of people I think drive past but don't really realize what a treasure it is within the community.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about it. We wonder if some of them tie it into the Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Yes.
But it's not. I mean, if you haven't been there, they have so much in there that is Minnesota products.
Yeah.
And then we're hoping that when we're out there that they kick off their fudge contest.
Yep, that would be fun. That would be great.
And for those of you who aren't aware of what that is, maybe you can tell them a little bit about that.
The fudge contest?
Yeah.
So I only know a little bit about it, but I think every year, annually, they do a fudge contest.
Yep.
So you can submit an idea for fudge, like a flavor of fudge.
Yep.
And then they go through and they kind of rank them. They bring people in to vote from the community, I believe.
Yep, I think they start with staff and then they narrow it down.
Bring it out.
And then they make so many and then they have people.
Yep, and then they get like first, second, and third place or something for their fudge. Fudge of the year.
So it should be interesting to see what kind of concoctions people can come up with, you know. It'd be really, really interesting.
I don't think you can ever go wrong with chocolate.
No, I don't think so either.
It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
And so far we have, I think, 25 people signed up for this.
Yeah.
So if you want to participate, please call and get signed up because we're working on lining up transportation right now. So.
Yep. And then next month, we're going to go check out another place.
Yeah, the guys are really excited about this.
They are.
I presented this to the board yesterday, and they were all writing down with their pencil and paper. But we're going to be touring the Barb Brothers Brewery. So we're going to start out over there, and we're going to do a tour of the brewery. We'll do some tasting, and then we're going to have lunch.
Yeah.
So that'll
be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I know some other things that we've talked about. Maybe we could share a few of those that we're thinking of maybe in the future.
Yep. So one of the other things that I'm working on is there is Maxwell Food Cooking Company. That is a newer company within Marshall.
I think that's another hidden treasure too.
Yeah.
If you haven't been in that store, it's worth the trip to go out into that store.
You can explain location. I'm bad at direction.
Oh, wow. It's before you get to True Value on that road, okay?
Yeah.
When you come from Main Street and take a right, it's before you get to True Value, right next to the Napa Auto Store there. If you have any interest in cooking or trying to look for a utensil or a piece that you can't find anyplace else, that's the place to go. It's just a cool little spot in town. And then they have some professional chefs.
Yeah, so we're working with the chefs to really create a program where they can teach some of our seniors how to cook for 1 or 2 people. You know, as you age and your family size dwindles down a little bit, it is a little bit more difficult to cook for just yourself. So they're working on trying to line this up with their chefs on offering that program to us.
Yep.
Another opportunity that we have is that we're going to go take a trip out to Greenwood Nursery this spring, and we will look at their spring flowers, and then we'll plant a little spring planter. And let's see, what else do we have
on
the back burner? The winery, Grandview Winery, Action Track. Yeah, we kind of have a lot of things on the burner.
And we're hoping to get maybe True Shrimp also over in Ballatin. So there's a lot of things happening in this area that we feel that if we bring the seniors out and they become knowledgeable, then they begin to see the bigger vision of what Marshall really does have within the city or within the area. So we're just such a huge asset, and if they can understand it better, I mean, they're just a better informed citizen. So that's really cool. And then our last thing, of course, is technology.
I'm not good at technology, but
neither am I.
We're very fortunate that we have people that help us with the technology down at the center. So we have
Teresa McCoy.
Teresa comes in like once a week. Usually on Mondays,
Yep.
and she offers iPad assistance. I think she does also help a little bit with the smartphones.
Yep.
We're finding down at the center that actually some of the seniors are more techie than myself or Barb. They bring in their little gadgets and need help with that. So Teresa's there to help with that.
Yeah, and she does an amazing job. Right now we've done several classes with her, but now we're to the point that you guys, like we said, you're much farther ahead than us on technology. So she's basically doing a lot of one-on-one sessions. So if you come down during that time, which is about 3:15, 3:30 on Mondays, and she's sitting down there, and if you want to know something very specific, or something's not working on your iPad or your smartphone, she'll sit down with you one-on-one and say, oh, here, let's walk through it. This is what I would suggest. This is the way I see it works. So that's really cool. The interesting thing for us will be is to see where it goes next. Yeah. And the thing I chuckle about at the center now is that as we're doing activities, the ringtones are like crazy.
Yeah.
They have some really cool ringtones all over the
ringtones and they're all different.
They're all so different, and it's like a disorganized symphony down there. It's like this tone, this tone, this tone, this tone. So now that I know everybody's vehicles, my new challenge for me is to know who has what ringtone.
Right.
So that's my new challenge at the center for myself.
Good luck with that.
So I don't know if that'll truly come about, but we're definitely going to try and see where that goes for myself.
Yeah.
So. But that's kind of where we're at. We just really wanted to take some time and just share that at the center, some of the old and usual activities will still be there, but we're also going forward with truly giving you an opportunity to really live life.
Yeah, and if you haven't, I always encourage the seniors that come down, or even the ones that stop down for the first time, come into the office. Let's talk a little bit. I'd love to be able to hear what your interests are, because that's where I come up with ideas for the programming. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of one person saying, have you thought about going here, or what do you think about this, or hey, I read about this in the newspaper.
Right.
Can we go check that out?
Right.
I
or
welcome ideas.
A friend says, oh, have you ever gone here? I've heard about this.
Right.
And so it's just, really opening the doors. If you wonder where we find some of our stuff, we're just always trying to listen, because by listening, no matter where we're at, whether we're at the center or out and about doing whatever we do.
Doing life.
Yeah, doing life.
Ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, that we hear about so many different opportunities. Or if we happen to stop a place and we go, hey, we should really bring them here. I think the other exciting thing that we're really working on, and I would hope that a lot of you would take some time to do this activity with us, is we're planning a tour of Marshall.
Yeah, well, that's just in the real beginning stages. But we're looking at offering that sometime, I think midsummer was kind of our goal. And we're really looking at taking you around to some of the newer places in Marshall, right? So I have a list of new businesses and new developments in Marshall, and we would take a bus and explore Marshall.
And I think it's really interesting because for one, I don't go out to the industrial park and go drive around and say, hey, what's new out here? I mean, different places that if it isn't on your normal pathway, you don't just go. Right. I've got a story with this one too. I don't even think I've told Heather this one. We had done this once a long time ago, and when we did, we ended up at the airport. That's when the airport had their new receiving terminal and that. And when we were there, a plane landed, and individual business owner, prominent individual business owner, had just come in, and he was carrying a gift bag. And one of my seniors just walked up to him, oh, hello, who are you? I'm so-and-so. So what do you got in that bag there? And I'll never forget that. The gentleman, the business owner, was so kind, and he just shared what he had gotten, and it was no big deal. But it's not something you would have expected at that moment in time. But it was a beautiful way for our population that we work with to go out there, and they actually connected with the prominent business people, and it made a true connection. And actually that individual became a real spokesperson for that company after that. So that was really quite cool.
It's cool.
But I also think that when we take this trip, I mean, wow, what's going on in Marshall? I mean,
it's huge. I know I've only been here since June, and the things that I've found out about the development in Marshall is amazing.
Yep.
You know, Marshall is going places.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I think lots of times the way that we hear about it is through, okay, what is it going to do to our property taxes? But the big picture is how does this really impact our community, and we're building it up and it's becoming a better community. So as we take that bus trip, you know, we'll go past the new change in Highway 23. We'll go past the marsh. Don't know what the marsh is? Come on the trip, you'll learn what. We're going to go out to the Merit Center where the driving track is, and what that's going to do for the Marshall community. And we're going to stop many other places along the way. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful trip. But, you know, come down, check us out. We're really bringing on some new stuff on board, and we're just, as you can tell, super excited about it. Yeah. So come check it out, and if there's something we're missing, let us know. We'd love to try it out.
Yeah, so. And if you don't want to stop down, give us the call.
Yep, and our phone number is 537-6109, and either Heather or I will be there. So with that, Heather, until we see them at the center.
Right.
Thank you.